I started ballet at the tender age of 18. Ginny was a kid, but she was taking Maddie Gewurz's class at one point, and I remember moving into that class prematurely. And Maddie used to give me hell because I couldn't dance as fast as Ginny, or did I have the technique? And I remember saying that to her once, and she kicked me out of class. She was a cello player, and we had a lot in common because I also played the cello. When Ginny was 13 or even younger, I forget when it was, she came down with rheumatoid arthritis. Yeah. And she had to do cortisone. And she was out for about a year, I think. Yeah.
They told her she wouldn't walk again.
Yeah, I know.
She would not.
Yeah, Ginny was, and I used to visit and play cello with her and stuff like that, but she overcame it, hurt her skin, but it didn't hurt her spirit. I mean, she boy, talk about determination to come back from something like that, yeah. She was in several of my ballets. She was in Shapes of Evening, and she was in Three Diversions, Toten Tanz. She was in the first Toten Tanz, yeah. The which one? She was Jocoso. She was in a lot of stuff. Yeah, I did a lot of things. We did a lot of things, and at the same time, that coming back to San Francisco back in the mid '60s was like coming back to a wonderful, freeing experience. Having come back from 10 years of the traditional European theater and being in one of the most wonderful traditional national monuments, which is the theater in Bordeaux, and then coming back to San Francisco and then seeing what was happening in the ballet 60s, it just completely blew my mind. It gave me the freedom that I really was looking for to, and especially our summer workshops, we didn't have to worry about failing. That was the one thing, that was the wonderful thing about it, that we could really do new things without any problems, yeah. Joss, we were talking about that just, you and I were just talking about that, remember? And we did several of your ballets.
That Rossini.
Remember her Rossini ballet? That was wonderful. Yeah, let's go on. Yeah, Joss. How about when you were traveling, any memories of that when you and Ginny were on tour, when you guys toured?
Well, first of all, she's in a better place now.
Yeah, truly.
And she just got there a little ahead of the rest of us. I'm so glad that that we could be part of her life, and that she was such a big part of our lives. She followed her dream, became a beautiful dancer. And I remember in Carlos's ballet, Shapes of Evening, she was absolutely gorgeous.
She was creating
and I remember she had beautiful, wonderful pirouettes and beautiful foie gras and everything. And then we had some wonderful times together on those State Department tours.
Oh boy.
We went to all these places that nobody ever goes to. Who's ever danced in Sri Lanka and Kuala Lumpur and Cambodia and Pakistan.
Before all the fighting.
We had all this. And then after, many years later, in 1973, I think it was 1973, the board decided they couldn't afford to have the company anymore, so there would just be no San Francisco Ballet. And the dancers got together, Ginny and all of us got together, and we said, oh, no, you don't. So we had the SOB campaign, Save Our Ballet, and we had bumper stickers and everything. And the newspapers got hold of it, and they helped us out. So we danced in the street, we danced in the Kaiser Stadium, we danced in storefront windows, and we dancers raised enough money to keep the ballet company. So there is a company today because of the dancers.
Yeah.
After the
so true.
In the first place, she followed her dream and became a beautiful dancer. And in your Shapes of Evening, she was absolutely gorgeous. And she danced all of Lew's ballets, Lew Christensen. And so I'm just thankful to Ginny up there that she was a part of our lives and that we're part of her life. And the world keeps turning. Nobody falls off. We just say, okay, we'll see you around the moon.
You're right. That's so true.
We will see Ginny again.
That's so true, Joss.
She was just excellent always, and I just really loved her. And in my mind, I haven't lost Ginny. We may have lost her physical being. We may not have been in close contact with her in recent times, but we all remember Ginny, and we all loved Ginny for all of our special reasons and our funny stories that we probably all can share.
And David, you danced with her a lot, didn't you guys?
Yeah,
You did the
I got some good opportunities to partner Ginny in Lew's performances, and she was really no nonsense. No goofing around. She just, when you got in rehearsal, she did her thing, and she was serious about working, and she was very consistent. She was a workhorse. She was never injured. You always see Ginny was always on, always ready to dance, and you could count on her being brilliant. And she wouldn't be somebody who has an injury and oh, she's out. You know, she was always there dancing.
David, I never partnered her. How was she to partner? Because I know you partnered her.
She was good to partner. She turned. I just held my hand and she turned. When she was finished, I squeezed and she stopped.
Right.
So, because she was compact, she was easy to lift, easy to partner, easy to turn, and I had no trouble complimenting her line. She was from an old school, and my training was an old school, and we knew all the different lines to complement, especially in pas de trois. I got photographs of that, where I looked on stage, somebody took some great photos from the Opera House, and our lines are just matching perfectly. You can see it, and that's from her being consistent in what she was doing. When a ballerina is, and she was always on, never had a bad performance or an off evening. It's just like, this is a great person to partner because she's always good. And I partnered a lot of dancers, and I remember looking at old pictures, some of the ones on the Golden Gate Bridge. It's Ginny.
She could do such quick footwork and such that with such ease. And she smoked like
a chimney. I remember riding once.
Giant mustache.
A 1960 Thunderbird.
Thunderbird.
Old Thunderbird convertible. Oh, that it was the best, and it was in its time. But this was already an old car. Everything, just cigarettes all over the place. But she still loved that car. She'd drive into the gas station, pump a whole bunch into the car, and then drive off. But she loved that Thunderbird.
Christina went on tour. They were on tour. Christina was there, and Louise were there. And Chris, you guys, you must have had fun on the Oriental tour.
Oriental tour, South America tour. We grew up together.
Yeah, right.
We grew up together. We were in the school together. We were 12 years old. We were in our first ballet. We were so excited.
Yeah.
You have like some little special fun memory?
Figure out any particular one. I have a picture of me all dressed up in Hong Kong going to a fancy restaurant. She was really good at kind of encouraging me to do things. We had a fancy steak dinner, and I forget what all. It was just in recent years. She called me up and needed a ride someplace, or was going to want to go with her, and I got to go to San Jose and see a tech rehearsal. Lew's ballet where the arms and legs are
Il Distrato.
Yeah, Il Distrato.
That was
She
fun.
said that, and boy,
That was one of these 60s ballet.
and she was having like, this has got to be, and that's got to be. Getting it right, because there was no sense of Lew's ballets if it wasn't done properly.
Correct.
She's a
With
perfectionist.
the right spirit and everything, and so she was doing filling station for somebody, and she was so insistent that the step be on the right syncopation in one of the variations, and it was like, I always admired that. So.
Sarah, were you a little girl then? I mean, you were coming along.
Ginny was always there, but one thing I did remember was when I was learning Rose, and I was having some problems with the turns, and Ginny gave me a little pointer about you know, just think of the, sort of the BA before you do the shitties. Boom. And it helped me. It sort of like centered me. So I remember that all these years. And then the other thing was when San Francisco Ballet came out to New York, and I was living there, and Ginny saw me, and she said, "Sarah Mall, I owe you a quarter."
Katie, what was your experience with this lady, with Ginny?
As a child, I saw Ginny and Jocelyn and everybody dancing, and I remember so clearly Ginny's dancing and how beautiful it was, her work in Aubert and all the beautiful ballets, and her wonderful upper body and delicacy.
Tina, have you worked with her? Did you work with her?
Well, we actually were in some ballets together.
Together,
at the same
of course
time.
you were.
But when I was in the school, I just really looked up to her. She was really one of my favorite dancers in the company at that time. I just always really watched Ginny. I loved her dancing. I loved the quality, her quickness of movement. She had her beautiful, the way she'd use her upper body and her port de bras, and she would really lean and bend, but she could be so quick. She could be lyrical. She could do everything. She was very lyrical, but she could be so quick and dance with such energy. I just always really admired her, and I will just always be grateful to her for throwing me a baby shower for me and for my son Andrew. That was just the sweetest thing that she did for me, and because nobody else was stepping up to the plate and doing it, and we were, seeing each other a little now and again, and she threw a baby shower for me and invited people, and I will always be grateful to her for that. And we had a wonderful time at her home. So I just admired her tremendously. I really admired Ginny in every way.
She followed her dream and became a beautiful dancer, and in Your Shapes of Evening, she was absolutely gorgeous, and she danced all of Lew's ballets, Lew Christensen, and so I'm just thankful to Ginny up there that she was a part of our lives and that we're part of her life, and the world keeps turning. Nobody falls off. We just say, okay, we'll see you around the corner.
You're right. That's so true.
We will see Ginny again.
That's so true, John.